Hey, what's up guys? Young Karth here, and today I'm going to be coming at you with the video that I talked about on stream and the community page. We're going to be doing the 13.1 patch tier list, and I'm kind of going to break down how I'm going to do that for you guys. So first we're going to do roles. What roles do I believe are S tier? Which ones do I believe are bad? I'm going to give some explanations into that. And secondly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take each role and pick about 4 to 5 champions that I believe are A to S tier and really worth picking up, meta champions, and they're doing a lot right now. And of course, Karthus will be in there. I'm going to tell you what I think about him as well. If you guys like this kind of content, please let me know in the comments. Drop a like if you're new. 94% of my watchers are not subscribed. Subscribing is completely free. Lets me know that you absolutely love the content. Make sure you drop a sub to stay updated. I'm doing 2 videos per week and a short every day. And also guys, Monday through Saturday I'm live on Twitch. So make sure you check out my Twitch, twitch.tv/YoungKarth, starting 12 p.m. EST. Sundays off, doing a lot of climbing on stream for placements. And with that being said, I'm going to go and jump right into this tier list here. So, roles, what are we thinking? Let's start with support. Where do I think support is? So support is a very interesting role in my personal opinion. It really massively dictates who's winning bot lane. However, it can also massively dictate who wins mid, top, and jungle. But in lower elos, support is kind of overlooked, matters a bit less. ADC definitely not that impactful overall. I'll get to that in a little bit. So support in high elo, super good. Support in low elo, especially if you're solo queue, meh. We give support a B tier rating. Top lane. Alright, what do I think about top lane? Well, let me tell you a few things about top lane. This role is pretty much just free LP right now, in my personal opinion. There's just too many champions that are broken. The bruiser items, you know, with Jockshow and Heartsteel. People say if you think Heartsteel's broken, you're low elo, but come on, man. The item is really good with the charged attack, and it just makes people so tanky. And if you're into the right team comp, like you don't have health shred, you don't have a way to deal % health damage, you don't have an ADC that can apply the on-hit damage needed like a Vayne or a Kai'Sa, you know, something like Cho'Gath, something like Ornn, you know, a big ass tank, you know, just really huge with Heartsteel, and that's just impossible to kill. The role's 100% S tier right now, guys. It's a role that you definitely want to pick up. Learn a little bit if you want some free OP. Alright. Jungle. So jungle is always an impactful role, in my personal opinion. There are a few jungle changes, such as the jungle pets, that make a lot of junglers able to clear now. There are also some drawbacks as well, such as smite leveling up the damage by level, so if you're blowing out the enemy jungler, he still has a chance to smite things. But with that being said, guys, jungle gap is so just crippling, and the game can just be lost completely off of jungle gap. There's so much map pressure able to affect every lane. I'm just gonna have to put jungle in S tier, guys. Mid. So taking a look at mid. Now mid has a lot of impact over the map, and there's a lot of mid champions that can have some global ultimates, a lot of dashes. You got Kiani, Cassidy, you got Twisted Fate, you've got Talon, you've got all these champs that have a lot of mobility. You've got assassins, you've got big mages like Syndra. There's a lot of versatility in the mid lane. Now, I don't believe mid lane is an S tier pick, because you can get baited by your jungler, and you can get out leveled as well, depending on a few circumstances, by like top. And there's a lot of counter matchups mid as well, so if you're not careful, you can get countered really hard, pushed in, and just unable to do much. So with that being said, I'm probably going to put mid lane in the A tier. Now, let's get to my main role, and many other people's. What am I thinking about ADC this season? You know, while there are a few good ADCs, and ADC can be a super impactful role, guys, in high elo, especially when you're in Diamond. Obviously, you can't duo Q in Master Tier Plus, so that kind of cripples the ADC role to a fairly decent extent, actually, in high elos. But in like Diamond and Plat and Gold, anything below, if you can duo in the ADC role, the role can be super good, okay? But I'm kind of making this role tier list on the assumption pretty much that you're going to be solo queuing. And with that being said, guys, ADC, you're down levels, you have absolutely no control over the early game. You're at the mercy of your teammates pretty much, unless you're making some like strange rotation plays early, but that can also blow out your lane if it goes poorly. With that being said, guys, I'm going to have to put ADC in the ha tier list because it's a pretty excruciating role to play this season, in my personal opinion, with the levels. Now, I kind of circumvent this by playing Karthus ADC. That's why I suggest a lot of my viewers pick up Karthus ADC and try it out for yourself. Karthus is a little less team reliant than the normal ADC. You have a global ultimate, so you can get some pressure on the map and pick up kills. And overall, you have less poor matchups bot lane, and you can play kind of an int style and really get in there and do the damage you need to do. It's high damage, but low mobility. Doesn't really matter though. Karthus is a great pickup in the ADC role, but solo queue ADC it's meh. I'm going to be completely honest. So let me know what you guys think of this list here. Do you agree? Do you disagree massively? I want to hear people's comments. What's your list looking like? You can make one below. Now we're going to jump into the champions, guys. I'll see you there. Welcome to the second part of the video here, and I'm going to break it down a little bit for you here. So we got all the roles, and then we have do not play at the bottom. Each one I'm going to give you anywhere between 3 to 5 champs that I believe are really nice pickups for this patch and this season at the beginning. Champions that give you a little bit of a higher advantage to pick up some of that free LP. And we're going to begin with top lane. So might take me 1 second to get these champions here. So I'm going to put Fiora up here, guys. Fiora's a really nice win rate, guys. She's able to split push. She can really use a lot of the new bruiser items to her advantage, and she has a really nice and pretty simple to play laning phase, but she also has a very high skill ceiling. There's a lot of outplay potential. Fiora is a nice pickup right now. Alright guys, so the next champion that I'm going to be adding, they don't have the picture here for whatever reason, but just know it's going to be up here, okay? And I might edit it into the video. I don't know if I'll be able to do that or not, but if it doesn't, Kayasante. Really mammoth champion. If you'll know that when the champ came out, everyone was kind of laughing at it because it did nothing. But pretty much now it's just a mobile top laner with a lot of kill pressure in lane. Very annoying, very tanky. Abuses the new items. It's an absolute must pick up, guys. Mammoth top laner. You want to play Kayasante. All right, guys. Next, we're looking at Big Daddy Darkmoon. This one should be fairly obvious why it's on the list. Nice win rate. Takes advantage of the new items like Heartsteel and stuff like that. Can become Mammoth. If you're into comps like a full AD, full AP comp, you can build into that, and it can really be huge for him. He's an absolutely great pickup right now. Super simple champ to play as well. Pretty much zero mechanics, and has a strong laning phase as well. Alright, coming up next, guys. I'm going to call this guy the low elo stomper, and also can be good in high elo too, a little bit less volatile there. However, in low elo, Darius, absolute stomper. No one knows how to really properly play against Darius. They undervalue his stacks of his passive, and can really just turn into an absolute snowball fest top. So remember, Kaysante's here. Those are going to be the 4 that I talk about for top lane. Now we're going to move over to mid lane. Number 1 in mid lane, guys, gonna have to be Kassadin. Win rate skyrocketed after Rod of the Ages came back into the game. People always say Kassadin has a poor laning phase. Really doesn't have that poor of a laning phase because he can survive early game, and he can poke with his Q. as well, and do decent trades depending on the rune that you're taking. If you decide to take Electrocute or Fleet Footwork for sustain, if you can pretty much survive the early game without completely enting, this champion is pretty much a free win once you hit the power spike on the items. So definitely look up to picking Kazdan. Not hard mechanically either. Alright, coming in next, guys, we're going to be taking a look at Anivia. Kind of hidden OP to an extent. This champ has a high skill ceiling. There's a lot you can do with it and a lot of tricks, but at base value and lower elos, you've got a wave clear machine, high damage, and people do not play around the wall. And the ult, definitely look at picking up Anivia. Alright, next, final two champions that I got from mid lane. I think I accidentally clicked on a tier list maker that doesn't have the absolute updated and newest champions, so I'm sorry for that. So right here we have Akshan and Vex, two very powerful new champions with a lot of mobility. Vex, obviously, with her ultimates, able to kind of go from target to target, just absolutely incinerate and one-tapping them. And Akshan obviously has his E-swing and his invisibility. Great roamers, great burst damage, and great scalers make for Akshan and Anivia, or excuse me, Akshan and Vex being perfect here in the mid lane. So we're going to move on to jungle now, guys. Number one for jungle, guys, we're going to be taking a look at Maokai. Now, Maokai is not a carry champ in the jungle. He is a support style, and a lot of people go AP on him. But it's kind of like a champ that you just pretty much farm until you're 6, or you can choose to do cheese ganks on him as well. But after that, you're pretty much just looking to dive, towers, and force plays in the jungle. When you're 6, stack the saplings in, at scuttle crabs, all that kind of stuff. Has pretty high damage, but it is a utility champion, but it's just super good right now. The win rate's nuts on it. Definitely try it out if you haven't already. Alright, this is for all the low elo stompers out there. Clocking in with Master Yi with a nice, decent win rate. Very good for low elo. Very hard snowballing champion. If Master Yi's able to sneak in some kills early game and get his items, there's pretty much nothing you can do to stop him unless you have hard CC. And guys in the lower elos, gold and below, even plat and below, people aren't drafting comps good at all. So you can probably sneak in Yi a lot of games with low CC, and you can get a lot of high kill, free wins with those pentakills. Make sure you try out Yi. Alright, next up, guys, we definitely have to include Zac in the jungle here. The new tank items, just absolutely disgusting on him. Zac also with the AP scalings and all that kind of stuff as well. You can fit in a Demonics on him and some other AP items if you do wish. It's doing a lot of damage. It's a tank. He can gank from unknown angles and get the drop. That's just an absolute must play this season. Alright, guys, and the final one that I'm going to include for jungle today is going to be Echo. Echo's pretty much good every patch, guys, especially in the jungle and mid as well. Now, the only thing about Echo is he is kind of a more higher skill cap champion, and there's a lot of ways that you can clear faster on him by utilizing dragging camps and whatnot, but they did kind of take away dragging camps and double camping as well. So he's become more kind of a simplistic champion. He's a champ that you can grab Magi's on and Dark Seal, and once you start snowballing on him, the game's over. So he's another fantastic pickup. Let's move on to ADC. Of course, what you guys want to see most. That's right, I'm going to slap Karthus right on there for you. Now, if I had to rank Karthus from D to S tier, I'd give him A tier, but I do, of course, want to put him on this ADC list because I think he's an extremely versatile pickup. If your teams are picking a lot of AD, Karthus is a very fantastic option to have in your champion pool. You guys know the reasons why I include Karthus here. You know, unlike other ADCs, you can have a shot at the landing phase a lot more. You have a global ult and you can help your team. Karthus is an A-tier champion this season. With all these people building health items, you can shred with Liandry's, and of course Void Staff and Shadow Flame for the pen make him a very optimal selection. He's very good right now. You guys have to, of course, include Draven. If you've been playing League at all, you know Draven's being picked a lot. He is a high skill ceiling character. At the very baseline, though, you don't really see a lot of people playing Draven in low elo, because it is kind of hard to catch the axes, even for me. I play a little bit of Draven, but I'm not very good at him. However, with the builds and the win rates right now on Draven, he's definitely a champion you might want to try out, and you might want to try to one trick. If you're going to have an ADC one trick, like an actual ADC one trick right now, that you want to learn and kind of adapt to pick up, definitely look into getting some Draven games in. He's very good. Alright, we're going to go and slap Kai'Sa on. I'm sure you guys know why. A 5-hit passive absolutely shreds HP. She can build items like Bork and Kraken Slayer and get away with it. She can also build AP into the build. You can even build Hourglass. Kai'Sa, extremely versatile champion that annihilates tanks, has invisibility as well, has attack speed buffs, has a shield, has a dash on the ult. It's everything you'd want in an ADC. And honestly, personally, probably one of my most hated champions to go up against. Seems like they always get everything for free. Make sure you pick Kai'Sa into your pool this season. And finally, I'm low-key am going to include Caitlyn on the ADC list here, guys, just because I think she's pretty good in high elo, but in low elo, it's an absolute it's a blowout champion. If you know how to space properly, and you know how to fit your auto attacks in, and you know how to manipulate waves to any extent, Caitlyn's an absolute banger pick that's going to get you some completely free LP, uncontested, especially in those lower elos. Alright, so we're going to move on to support, guys, and the first one that you're going to see here is actually going to be pretty weird for you, unless you already know about the hidden tech. But if you guys remember the guy who just recently won Worlds, I believe Beryl might be his name, I'm not 100% certain, but the team that won Worlds, this dude was playing Heimerdinger support. He really made it famous, he really made it popular, and for good reason. You know, at first I was confused in why people were selecting Heimerdinger support in my games, but it just does a lot of poke. It completely counters engage champions as well. It does illegal damage, and it just puts a lot of pressure on the enemy laners because the waves are being constantly shoved in, and it's hard to engage on him. Make sure you try it out if you want a little bit of free LP, guys. Alright, clocking in next, we're going to be taking a look at Soraka. I mean, this champ's just normally pretty always good, guys. The heals, silences counter a lot of champions' ultimates and engages as well. Soraka's just very annoying to play against, and if you get a scaling ADC, which, let's be real, most of the time you do, Soraka's a very nice pick, hard to kill, and makes your team hard to kill. I'm going to slap a Mumu on here, guys. With the new items, like Jock shows, Mumu's dealing giga damage. Any lane that you're playing a champion like Samira, or an engaged champion, even Caitlyn, Kai'Sa, Karthus, it's fine as well. Pretty much any ADC you can make this work with. I mean, a Mumu with Ignite is just absolutely one-tapping them. It's engaging at all aspects. The new portion of a Mumu, where you get 2 casts of the bandage toss, absolutely nuts, puts pressure on them. Dive potential, and at level 6, it's just free kill and free kill and free kill. Definitely test out a Mumu. And finally, guys, it's kind of an honorable mention that's not actually like super meta, but I think it's just disgusting. I'm gonna have to go with Blitzcrank. After they kind of tried to make him more of a bruiser / duelist champion, he's actually tanky. He actually does a lot of damage, and compared with a lot of aggressive picks, you know, especially in low elo, Blitzcrank hooks can be absolutely devastating. Blitzcrank roams can be absolutely devastating, and you can even go Glacial Augment on him to get a really annoying Blitzcrank going, and he just always provides pressure for your team. I really like Blitzcrank this season in patch, so test it out for yourself. Now, as far as champions that you shouldn't be playing, guys, there's just some mechanical champs with really bad win rates. I'm going to slap a Azir on here. For you guys, we're just going to do a little scrolling. We're going to slap a Azir on there. I'll slap Ivern. Unless you're a complete one-trick Ivern, this champ is pretty bad. You probably want to stay away from it. I barely ever see any Kales anymore, by the way. I feel like this champ is kind of dead at the moment as well. Okay, I'm going to put this here. I want to explain why I'm putting it here. Do not play Lucian unless you have a Nami on your team. This champion is dog water without Nami. Really bad ADC. Don't pick. Let's do a little bit more scrolling here, guys. We're going to take a look. Still looking. Sivir has an extremely low win rate right now. I'd probably avoid picking that unless you're just a one trick. I'm going to put Lee Sin here. very mechanical champion, and you probably shouldn't be playing it unless you're a one-trick. So, I almost want to put LeBlanc as well. LeBlanc has, actually, I believe, the lowest win rate in the game. It just doesn't do anything. I mean, I hate playing against LeBlanc, but it's just not good. I'm going to put this here as a meme. I'm not actually going to put it. Sona's pretty good right now. I just hate playing with it, dude. It just feels like it does nothing. Take a look if there's anything else here they want to add. Why do they have two Nunus here? Siren, Zillion, Zoe, Yumi. You know what? Unless you have a hyper carry, unless you're duo Q with a jungler or a top laner, please stop picking this champion. It's really horrible in lane for the ADC. Makes it just a nightmare to play the game. It's an absolute nightmare. You know, guys, I think... Oh, one more. Where is he? Here he is, Zed. This is a pitiful win rate right now, guys. I'm not 100% sure why. The win rate is just really, really bad. So probably just don't play it, you know? You want to be taking a look at the meta and seeing what you should be playing and not playing. But guys, these are my picks. Remember up here we have Kaysanti, and remember here we have Vex and Akshan. Those are my picks. Let me know what you think. I wish you guys the absolute best coming up in Season 13 once again. Get that free LP with some of these picks. Soon I have a video coming out. It's going to be how to hit more Qs on Karthus. It's going to be a really cool video for the guys that are here for the Karthus content. I'm going to make that a really nice video and try and be informative and give you guys some tips you may have not heard any other content creator give before Karthus. So stick around for that. And then I'm going to have some videos on how to dominate low elo, mid elo, and high elo. I'm going to give tips on each, and it's going to be like a mini part 3 series. So that's what I got coming up for the full-time uploads. Keep a lookout for the shorts. Make sure you have notifications on and drop a sub, and make sure you come by the stream. Tell me you're from YouTube, twitch.tv Young Karth. I want to see you guys there and interact with you all, and I hope you guys have an absolutely fantastic day. I'll see you in the next video. Young Karth out. Peace.